The New England Patriots quietly make this wise decision. As well, we talk about Robert Kraft and his comments on Jabril Peppers. And ladies and gentlemen, it is Saturday. That means tomorrow we are going to be watching the New England Patriots go up against the Houston Texans. So today, if you've watched this channel, we are going to talk about predictions. We're going to talk about betting odds and all that fun stuff. So before we get started, do me a huge favor, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and at some point, comment below. It'd mean the world to me. So today we talk about some moves that the Patriots are making as far as it comes to extensions. We've looked at that already in the past. The Patriots have made some extensions, but as well have foregone some extensions. Case in point, Matthew Judon. He is now with the Atlanta Falcons. Again, in my opinion, I think that was a smart move. Again, he can play the whole season with the New England Patriots, and at the end, it doesn't mean he has to re-sign with them. So being able to get something for him was a big move, but I think this is a smart move by the New England Patriots. Brendan Schooler, who is one of the best special team players that we have. I think a lot of people really underestimate the importance of special teams, especially punt return, kick return, all those different things, obviously field goals. But when we look at Brendan Schooler, he has been a big impact since he's been with the Patriots. And so they signed him to a 3-year, $9 million extension. Again, I think it's just great. Hey, if something ain't broke, don't fix it. As well, you look at this whole situation. I'm not saying he's going to be a starting safety by no means, but again, we look at this Jabril Peppers situation. We know Kyle Duggar has had some injury issues this season, as well as Mapu and Hawkins. You never know. Schooler could get in for a little bit and get some playing time. So again, not a bad option, not a bad move by the New England Patriots. And I think this is something coming off. I'm sure his agent has been working on this for him, trying to get this all figured out. But I think it's just helpful, especially after this whole Jabril Pepper situation. And I think we know, and we'll talk about this in just a couple minutes, but that is increasingly not looking good, and not looking good for him to return, especially if the allegations are true. So that being said, smart move by the Patriots. Comment below. What do you think? Do you think special teams is just another, is what it is? It's kind of like the redheaded stepchild between offense and defense. But again, I think it's a smart move. We look at the other extensions that have been made. You look at Stevenson, Nwenu, Duggar, Henry, Barmore. So there's been a lot of extensions, and I think the Patriots in their front office look at Schooler. They see the awesome abilities he brings to this team. Again, even though he is not out on the field a ton, again, he is important. So he's made a ton of tackles. He's had, I believe, 4 fumble recoveries. So it has been big for the Patriots. Big news. As well, we talk about Robert Kraft. Robert Kraft came out earlier and said, basically, if Jabril Peppers is found guilty of what he's done, then he is absolutely out. So basically saying he's gone, and I think that is important, especially as the owner of a franchise. You need to come out and you need to make that known to other people, because I think a lot of times in situations like this, emotion overwhelms people, and I think a lot of people, instead of giving someone due process, which again, in this situation, it very much seems that he is guilty, he will be proven guilty, and it is not looking good for him, and it is a disgusting, despicable situation. So I think when you're looking at it, emotionally, you're like, he needs to be dropped from the team, he needs to be this, But what happens if, and there's been situations before where someone's been dropped and then it's been false allegations, it's been, whatever it might be. And so then how does that make you look as a franchise? Again, so I understand what the Patriots are doing, especially putting them on the commissioner's exempt list. And I think it's smart by Robert Kraft saying, like, listen, here's the deal. We're going to let due process do what it does. But also know, if he is guilty, he's gone. He's off this team, and we don't stand for that. So that is great to hear by him. Now, tomorrow, the New England Patriots play the Houston Texans, and if you watch this channel, one of my favorite things to do on Saturdays is go through the predictions, especially the Vegas odds. And there's something I find pretty interesting with this. Talking to people that I know, as well as reading other stuff. A lot of people would say the Houston Texans have a good shot of making it deep into the playoffs this year, possibly making the AFC Championship game. Again, you look at different teams right now in the AFC. We talk about the Kansas City Chiefs. They're not looking that good. They're having wide receivers issues. People getting injured. But again, this is what last year I was like, there's no way they win the Super Bowl. They play a mediocre season all the way through, and then they win the Super Bowl. The Ravens aren't playing up to their potential. Again, I think they're going to get hotter later in the year because the division they're in is absolutely trash. But I do think the Houston Texans are going to surprise a lot of people. And the reason I say this is interesting is because we look at the spread, and the spread is Texans giving a touchdown, so winning by at least a touchdown. So I find that interesting because we look in weeks prior, and we look at the New York Jets were giving 6.5 to the New England Patriots. And listen, there's no way the Jets are better than the Texans. There's absolutely no way. San Francisco, again, I understand 10.5. What was funny is a lot of people were like, honestly, that's pretty generous. They should probably make it like 15.5 or 21. People were being crazy. But again, you look at this and it makes you think, are these algorithms that Vegas is making giving Drake May thinking that they're giving him more of the benefit of the doubt that offense is going to be ran better? Because again, I would have expected this spread to be more like the San Francisco 49ers spread. And the 49ers, again, that's another team you want to talk about, a team that has underperformed this year. I would say that they have in the NFC. Now, again, do they have Christian McCaffrey? No. They had the whole issue with Brandon Ayuk. Deebo Samuel hasn't played every game. George Kittle hasn't played every game. So it's been very inconsistent offensively for that team. But that being said, I think that when you look at this spread, again, I thought it was going to be much worse than this. And honestly, a touchdown spread in the NFL, I've said this more than once, is pretty wild when it comes to Vegas betting. But again, I think it will be difficult, and I think that what Vegas is kind of putting into it is the Texans don't have much to prepare on Drake May. The film they have is for preseason. A lot of time preseason games, you're not taking out all the tricks and the ponies and all these different plays, and so when it comes down to it, I really think that the Patriots offensively could have, I'm not saying they're going to go out there and rack up 40 points out there. I'm not saying that, or even 30. But what I'm saying is going into a game where your opponent doesn't necessarily know how the offense is going to look and be ran under a different quarterback, that could be a little advantage for you. So, and by no means am I saying the Patriots are going to go out there and win and dominate. No, because I will show you this as well. We got some predictions, and I just thought these were interesting. I thought these were pretty realistic. So Texans 31, Patriots 10, sure. And so that right there is pretty similar to the 49ers game. 28-16 and then 23-19. And so I would probably tell you this. I think the middle one, the 28-16, is the most realistic one. Again, I think the Patriots are going to look a little better in the red zone under Drake May. Again, I do think they will get the run game going. And honestly, the last game they played against the Dolphins, I think they gave up on the run game, it seemed like, at times. And it's like, no, you got to stay true to your offense and what you do. And so what do you guys think? What's your prediction for the game tomorrow against the Houston Texans? I'll drop one real quick. I think the final score is going to be, I'm just going to straight up, I'm going to keep it very basic. I'm going to say it's going to be 28-14. 28-14. We get 2 touchdowns. I think at halftime it's pretty close, and then I think the Texans pull away in the second half. So that's my thought. Comment below, what do you think about anything we've talked about today? Again, this is Sports Talk Patriots. I appreciate it, guys. Hit that subscribe button on the way out. We'll talk later. Peace.